post it once a week from here on out. It was like, do not compare your day 1 to someone's day 20. All right, and it had a picture of Amazon.com in his garage in 1994. Okay, he's now moving his $1 billion business down to Miami. I just heard. So, you guys do not compare. Business? He's moving down there, so I'm sure he'll open stuff down there. But at any rate, do not compare yourself to what I do, to what Grace does. You have a place to start. So let's talk about the I story, okay? That's basically your story. I used to do an elaborate kind of I story. I will tell you what, I shortened it. So right away in the beginning of the party, I'll be like, hi, my name is Allison. I'm a sales director with Mary Kay. I've actually been doing this for 3.5 years. I joined because I was using all of the product, from the skincare to the makeup to the body care. I absolutely loved it, but I also love my husband, so I'm like, to save conversation about my habit, I'm gonna just join and be like, look what I saved, honey. Like, you know, kind of like the Kohl's receipt where you circle it and you're like, look at that number, what I saved. But I can, and everyone laughs, right? And then I say, but I can honestly say God was answering prayers that I didn't even know I was praying at the time. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But you see how I already set that up? I was using the skincare, the body care, and the makeup. I'm telling them what we have to offer, and I was using all of it. I also told them why I joined. I'm not there to recruit them to make $1 million. I joined for the discount. It's okay. If somebody's thinking about that, wall is down, okay? We go walk through the party, and then we get to what's called the ticket game, all right? How many of you guys currently do the ticket game or some form, okay? And for those of you who are new or are not familiar with it, or even if you are, the ticket game is an opportunity for women to ask questions. We present it right away, and I say, the only game that I certainly play, or that I play, and it's not, and some people think games are lame. Guys, I love games, but let me tell you, this is not lame because I give away stuff, okay? Like, gift giving is my love language, so much so I'll go home and my husband will say, Allison, what'd you give away? I'll be like, don't worry about it, I'll buy you a fishing pole, all right? And I say, and how you earn tickets, or how you get the prizes is you earn tickets, and you ask questions. Because I will tell you what, in the Midwest, especially as women, we have been conditioned to sit, not be heard, be quiet, get what you get, don't mind a bit. I don't have time to stalk anybody, so I want you to ask me questions, and I'm going to answer them. All right, unless you have pizza and beer, then we might need to talk. Everyone always talks to that. All right, and so then I say, you guys, ask me a question, any question. And they are always like, how old are your kids? How long have you been doing the business? You know, something random like that. And then I always tell people too, throughout this, whether you ask questions about myself, about the product, or about the business, you're gonna get a ticket. And if by chance I forget, because I call it passion, people call it geeking out, I may forget to give you one, just nicely remind me, okay? And I'll give you a ticket. So then as we get going, if you're doing the skincare class, I always do the micellar water, oil free makeup remover, the cleanser. I do show them a Skin Invigorate brush and the microderm set. I actually let them do that on the back of their hand as they are filling out their profile card. I go around, I have a bowl of water and soap and rub it off and then go do it. Just kind of helps increase sales. And then we do the mask. We put the charcoal mask on. And I'm going to share with you what I say. Again, this is what I say I have found works for me. Do what works for you. I say, okay, you guys, as we let that settle and that work, this is honestly probably my favorite time of the night because I get to answer your questions. People think Mary Kay is part of the direct selling, business. And even though we are the #1 direct selling company in cosmetics and skincare in the world, I personally, you will never hear me say I sell Mary Kay. I offer it, okay? And it's like a big chocolate cake recipe to me. If you like it, honey, I'm gonna bake it, I'm gonna grab 2 forks, and we're gonna sit down and eat it together. If you don't, I do not love you any less. I'm gonna take it home and I'm gonna eat it, okay? And so I will say that we are lumped into this direct selling, and I wanna get away from that because there's three key things that really set us apart. And I'm gonna let you guys ask questions on that. But I will tell you, if you're like me, you might be thinking like, ask questions, I don't know what to ask questions, don't make eye contact. So I'm gonna ask you a question. If you woke up 9 years from today and you had everything that you ever envisioned and dreamed for in your life, what would it look and feel like? And if you're still one of those people like, I don't even know what the end of my weekend's gonna look like, think about this. How old will you be in 9 years? How old will your kids be? How old will your parents be? Would you wanna be in a new house? Drive a new car? Would you wanna be traveling more? Would you want to be able to go to the grocery store and fill your car up with whatever the heck you want and not worry about what's in your bank account? Do you want to put your kids through college? You see, Mary Kay, she started this business 60 years ago. She was 45, she retired from corporate America. She was training men who were younger than her, less experienced, but gonna be paid more than her. So she retired, and she used her life savings of $5,000 to invest and create a company and an opportunity where women could come and use it as a vehicle for the life that they wanted and fulfill their dreams. And you guys, there's three main things that stands us apart. I'm not even gonna say direct selling, I'm gonna say about all sales companies, because I've done corporate sales, right? Number one is the freedom and the flexibility. You have the freedom and the flexibility to work this into your business or into your life however you want. Our life is like a big bowl of spaghetti. And I just think of the sauce, like the sweet stuff, you can fill it in, right? 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, an hour here, an hour there. You get to decide. Along with the freedom and flexibility, you get to decide what you want to use it as a vehicle for. It doesn't matter what I want, it's what you want. Who do you want to be? What do you need in your life? That is what you get to decide, and you have the freedom and flexibility to decide. And that brings me to the second thing, because it's not about me. It's about what you want for your life, and it's the group that you're a part of. You can call it group, tribe, sisterhood, unit, whatever you want to preface it as, that is what you are part of. And we are rooted in support and collaboration and celebration. Not for maybe who you were yesterday or the decisions you made in the past, but for who you are today and who you want to be in the future. And you are celebrated. And I will tell you what, we celebrate you if you made a big decision in your life outside of Mary Kay, or you sell $10,000. We're celebrating you just the same because it's deserved. And then it brings me to the third thing, you guys, and that's cash. That's the elephant in the room. You wouldn't want to go work at a gas station and not know how much you're going to make, right? And I will tell you, what we make is pretty awesome. And I will tell you, I don't think there's a company out there, direct selling or corporate wise, in regards to what we make that's not morally or ethically okay, and that you can keep all your clothes on. And so I will tell you guys, it's a real thing, okay? I do this full time, it is a real thing. So before I open it up, I'm gonna leave you with one last thought. COVID totally changed our world. It absolutely did, but we are in a position where we have three choices. Number one, we can go back to the way things were. And let's be real, was it really that great, or is it just what we were comfortable with and what we knew? The second is we can freeze and see what happens and live in COVID state. My husband's grandmother, she lived in the Great Depression. She lived through that, and she continued to live through that. People will live through COVID, and what's even more so like disturbing, if you think about it, it's a political year. 82% of the population will freeze. So I'm gonna leave you with the third option, which is personally mine, is we get the opportunity to take step forwards in our life and change the trajectory of our life. We can decide. And it's not what your neighbor says, it's not what you've been conditioned to hear, it's not what your spouse or your family said, it's what that voice is inside. Because I can't hear it, only you can hear it. And if it's saying that you want something more, you can have it, and this could be a vehicle for you. So I'm gonna open it up and invite you to ask questions about what I do, about how this looks like and how it could fit in your life. And if by chance you're like, well, I don't really know if it's for me, I'll let you cheat. Think of questions that people ask me the most. Or at the end of the day, life can change in an instant. And I tell you what, as women, we kind of go to a place of emotion. I want me to pop into your head and some logic and be like, maybe this could be something for me, okay? So I'm gonna open it up to questions. And immediately, you guys, people start asking questions. It's the same spiel. Now, I didn't get that overnight, all right? I practiced it. Even before, when I knew that I wanted to roll that out, I wanted to practice it. So I could feel very fluid. I wrote it out. My first couple of times that I did a show in front of people, I was like, so you guys, I have some thoughts. All right, and I shared it. And now it rolls. So if you are in a position where you're not sure, make it your own. Practice it. And the more you see people, the more parties you do, the more they'll ask, the more you'll feel comfortable. What's really neat too, the questions, and Grace said this yesterday, when the people ask you the questions, they'll tell you what they need without telling you what you need, right? And you start listening. And you're like, oh, like Emily was like, well, I pay $250 a day here a week. Like, is that something that, you can actually make? How do you get paid from there? Well, guess what that tells me? She needs money to pay for daycare. She's worried about that. She wants her child to feel safe, okay? So what's really great then is, how we talk about the compound effect and everything, we do it for a reason, okay? This now leads you into the very end of the party, all right? We have those 5 questions. And the 5th question is changed a little bit differently. And it's on this paper here, and I'm gonna go through them how I go through them at a party for you guys, okay? So I tell people, I say, if you guys wouldn't mind turning your profile card over, on the lower left-hand side, there's a solid pink box. If you number 1 through 5 for me. This is not an exam, it's not a test, there's no right or wrong answer. It's honestly just gonna help with our one-on-one consultations. Number 1, what did you enjoy most about tonight? Was it getting together? Was it being away from the kids? Was it trying the new products? Was it the dogs? You know, what did you enjoy most? Number 2, when you see me again, or when we get together again, what would you like to learn more about? Would it be more about skincare? Maybe some of the supplements, boosters, makeup, doing a smoky eye, lips, body care? What would you like to learn more about? Number 3, if money were no object, what would you take home? Would it be everything? Would it be the skincare? Would it be me? I mean, my husband would say practically take her half the time. Number 4, when we get together again, would you like it to be a one-on-one consultation? Would you like to have a group together? You know, and get your girlfriends together and you earn a 50% off discount, because if Fairway told me I was getting 50% off, y'all are going my trunk, just saying. Okay. Do you want to be invited to a guest event? Or is it a number of those things? A combination. Now you guys, number 5. Okay, number 5. This is the key now. Say, now, you guys, you've seen me, what I do here today, right? You asked some fantastic questions, so you learned a little bit about this. So on a scale of 1 to 10, just tell me your interest level on what I do. And what other people are like, you mean like doing what you do? Yeah, like doing what I do. Now, I be very clear, I'm very respectful of boundaries. So 1 would be like, I'd rather have you cut off my legs than ever talk about what you do to me again. Okay, that's cool. As I won't. 10 being like, dude, I could blow $100 in Target and not know what's in my one bag. Just sign me up, let's figure it out. Do not pick a 5 because you are strong women. You are either 4 or 6, okay? And so they put the number down. Now, you guys, the reason we now do this is because when we sit down for individual close, we go through the questions. Oh, you enjoyed this. Tell me what product you like the most, blah, 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 blah. You see that they want to do a group. That's fantastic. What date does you look like? Take their order. Then you say, okay, so number 5, I see Angela that you put a 3 down. Notice I'm using a low number because it does not matter what they put down. Even if it's a 1, you ask them. You say, tell me about that number. Why number was right for you? And silence. And if you know me, I don't like silence, but I've learned to embrace it. And I will tell you within 10 seconds, ooh, okay? And I will tell you, my last show that I did, the mother was like an 8, and her and I were talking, and her daughter walked in. She goes, well, I was 3 because I'm not like you, and honestly, I was just really afraid that I didn't know everything. So actually, I'm an I. Cool. Can you send me the link? Can we set up time? All right, so you let them tell you, because it could honestly be that they're like, you know what, this is just overwhelming, and I don't know how I would learn. I'd be like, you know what, Angela, I totally get that. But hypothetically, if you get a new job, are you doing your training? And you're like, she's like, well, yeah. I'm like, guess what? That's why I'm here. I train you. If you have a passion inside, I can't train that. You know, like I want people with passion. But I tell you what, if you need to know how to do the makeup stuff, I got you on that. Run a business, I got you. Really. And then this is key. No matter what they said, no matter what number they put down, you say, so would it benefit you? Do you think it would benefit you at all to hear a little bit more about Mary Kay and how it could fit into your life and maybe be a vehicle, something that you're looking for? Would it benefit you? 9 times out of 10, yeah. Yeah, I think it would. It would. And so then right there on the spot, Grace has her set up. I actually now have mine set up. I'll be sharing it with my unit. We have a Google Doc of our schedule. So you can actually pull it up on your phone and you can say, you know what, Allison has an opening tomorrow at noon. Do you have time on your lunch break tomorrow? It's my director. She's kind of crazy, goofy. Just smile, nod, make her feel special, and be like, and just say, you know, and she'll honestly answer any more questions you have, probably a little more in depth, and see if it's something for you. Not totally low pressure, but you never know. And so then you plug them in there. It sends Grace and I a notification, and I'm like, oh, I got somebody there. Once that's booked, you say, and here to tell you what, I actually have a video link of her, so you can see her. You can see she's not scary. I think I did my makeup all the day, but she's not scary, and it honestly might just raise a little bit more questions. She kind of has some analogies in there, a little bit more ins and outs of how she kind of runs things. Watch that if you have time. Done. All right, we just did on the way home a call, and I could tell at the end I knew exactly where she was at of our call, because at the end of the call I was like, just like, you know, A, would you like to get started? B, would you like to, you know, get together or whatever? And she's like, I think I still want to get together and have a few more questions, but I will tell you, yesterday she goes, I actually think I need to look at my schedule and see where I could fit this in. So she's thinking about it. I did not pressure her. And then at Andrea's launch the other night too, there was two women, Nicole, yep, and she was one where I knew she was interested, and she even said, yeah, it would benefit her. I said, it sounds like you have a lot on your plate. So would it, you know, would it benefit you to maybe think about when your kids are out? She goes, yes, absolutely. Met her where she's at. And you guys, it takes so much pressure off of yourself because you're putting it in their hands. Would it benefit you?
And it's their choice.
It is. And if they say no, okay, totally fine. And guess what, guys? I'm not giving away nothing anymore. I'm not giving away $25. I'm not giving away, no. They are learning because people are hungry for solutions and they don't know where to turn.
Sure.
They really are. And they're hungry for connection and a group like this. So why wouldn't we open our arms to where they are at?
Or if you have 27, of those, bars.
Yeah.
You could give them a dancing bar.
You could. But the moral of the story, you guys, is this isn't going to happen overnight for you in regards to like, okay, I'm going to take this and now I'm going to recruit 25 people. But get started. I love Tina. I said, Tina, did you talk? She goes, oh, I bombed that time. But they do want to talk to you. Awesome. So guess what? We're going to work together. We're going to figure it out.
And it's practice. You have to practice it.
You do.
Oh my God, they're amazing.
There's still other people, like I'll talk, I'll be like, that did not go so well, or as good as it went in my head. Right? Like, we are not impervious to imperfections. Like, I'm a recovering perfectionist. Just gonna say it. But progress will get you there. Like, you want progress over perfection. So how does this feel, you guys? Give me some takeaways.
You got that wrote down, you said?
What's that?
You got what you said, when you do the
I do have the questions.
You want me to write it down for you?
Well, you said you had it.
I have the
did,
5
yeah.
questions written down.
No, not the 5 questions.
Oh.
I was talking about what she was saying
You
Oh.
basically
during
like
the
right
turtle bath.
prior to the ticket
Yes.
case? Yeah, because it really does. I love doing the 3 things. I love a little quip about Mary Kay and saying it's a vehicle. I love those 3 things. And one of the things I realized, the freedom and flexibility piece is not just in time, it's you get to decide what you want it for.
Right.
I'm not here to tell you. And I really feel a lot of walls come down in that. And then also the cash in the group. I feel it hits the 3 high points. And honestly, I genuinely, authentically feel that.
100%.
Like, I do.
And that comes through.
Yeah, and then the rest can be there. And then I do throw in about COVID in the 3 options because people like options and they get to just choose. And I don't know about you, but if I sit there hearing that, I'd be like, well, I want to be option number 3. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Maybe my PJs on the couch, but that's what I want. I don't want to freeze. I don't want it what it looks like normal before. I didn't like it. So yeah, and at the end of the day, you guys, even if they say no to this, I just pray it gives them some hope for the future. Like, I really do. So.
You guys, can we appreciate Allison? Because that